everybody, and welcome back to Hageman Garage. Today we're going to be working on our 1978 Porsche 911. The first thing on our to-do list is a full fluids change, so drain oil, replace it with new. Old cars, Porsches, take a special kind of oil. It's really viscous and it has additives that are pretty hard to find anymore. So we got a ton of oil because this car also has external oil coolers at the front of the car because it's an engine swap from a later and bigger engine, so it needs the extra cooling power. While we were in the engine bay, we also decided to change out the spark plugs, which in an old air-cooled flat 6 means you have to have a special bendy tool that allows you to stick the spark plug way back into the engine and screw it in. Because we were planning on replacing the shifter linkage, the seats had to come out, and because we were in there anyway, we decided to give it a good thorough clean and vacuum, which this car hadn't had in many years. Next up was a full overhaul of the lighting system in the cars, excluding headlights. Every bulb was replaced with LEDs, including the ones behind the dashboard. The taillights gave us some trouble with bad grounds, which was a recurring issue with this car and part of what we were trying to fix. It made the bulbs not work quite as they were supposed to, so we ended up taking the taillights completely out of the car, where we stripped them down, we cleaned everything up, and we applied some silver conductive grease to the grounds to make sure they were good and solid. Then we put everything back together, replaced the bulbs, resealed the taillights, and put them back in the car. Because we were still trying to address the bad ground, we took the grounding strap from the transmission, cleaned it really thoroughly with a wire brush, and did the same with the area that it grounded to on the transmission and the chassis, and then replaced it back in the car. Next up, we had to build a bracket for an internally mounted fire extinguisher, which is a requirement of the rally that we're sort of doing all of this work for. So we got aluminum plate and sort of cut it to shape and size and bolted it to the seat brackets, and then attached the fire extinguisher straps to there with a quick release. The floor mats were also really old and kind of disintegrating, so we backed them with foam sound deadening in an attempt to prevent that from happening any further and also make the cabin a little bit quieter. The last real modification was to wire up a strip of LED lights along the back side of the frunk so that when we popped it, we'd have some nice light. after that, it was time to button up the car, make sure that everything worked, and hit the road.